noontime inspiration from the original writings of Paramhansa Yogananda. And today I'm at Ananda on Camino Island on a very sunny, beautiful, cold, brisk day. And I would like to share this quotation from Yogananda. When will you find God? When all your desires for other things are finished. When you realize that the only thing worth having is Him. When every thought, every feeling is drenched with the love of God. Such a powerful two little sentences, but basically they encompass absolutely everything, the entire spiritual path. Of course, in a very broad and looking at the goal kind of way, but walking that path takes a little bit more time for most of us. For all of us, effectively, depending on where we are on our walk up the mountain toward that supreme goal of realizing God in our lives fully. There's an understanding, there's more of a clarity in the teachings of India about that pathway and how we walk along it. Essentially, he says, when all your desires for other things are finished. Well, we wouldn't be here on this earth plane if they actually were finished. So assuming that each and every one of us has some kind of bag or baggage of desires that we're working with, whether conscious or subconscious, unconscious, they are nevertheless there. And when we come upon some situation, some person that awakens in us that desire, that the memory of that desire, then boom, the karma actuates, it explodes, and it's right there in our face. So we may not even be aware of these desires. I remember very clearly when I was 19 years old and I first met Swami Kriyananda, and I was introduced to him after a Sunday service at the original old retreat that he had founded. And he had talked during that Sunday service about the joy of the soul. And so when I was speaking to him after service, first I was very nervous initially. I could barely say my name and tell him where I was from, but he had a way of helping us feel comfortable in ourselves as he was comfortable in himself, and approachable. And so, you know, a conversation, a simple little conversation ensued. And my memory was that I said to him that I felt, you know, joy all the time. And he sort of looked at me with a twinkle in his eyes. And he said, well, let's see what happens the next time a test confronts you. And sure enough, you know, within minutes, really, of that conversation, I was talking with somebody and something very annoying, very frustrating came up, and I found myself getting all wound up about it on the inside. And I realized that the joy that I thought I had was not lasting. It was temporary. It was fleeting in that moment, which is wonderful. It's a good way to start. But the joy of the soul is unconditioned. It is so vast, so omnipresent, so all-inspiring and all-consuming that it doesn't matter if all the way they talk about it in the Indian teachings, we can stand amidst the clashing worlds. It doesn't matter if everything around us collapses. We still feel that joy, not that we're walking in la la land and just sort of tiptoeing through the joy, but we're actually so deep in that experience that we're not shaken, but not in a heartless way, not in a callous way, with deep compassion, but not shaken, steady, calm. It's natural. Nothing can shake us. It doesn't come by force or willfulness or, intensity of any sort. It's relaxed and it's calm and it's pure, unconditioned joy. And that's what he is talking about in these simple little 2 sentences. When all your desires for other things are finished, meaning truly finished, whether satisfied or whether transcended or given to God truly, in the sense of it doesn't matter if that desire faces us again, that karma faces us again. We can just simply calmly walk right through it. It does not affect us. It's as if we're transparent at that point, and we have become unconditioned ourselves. When we realize that the only thing that is worth having is having God, when every thought, every feeling is drenched in the love for God. Our practices, the teachings of meditation, Kriya Yoga especially, help us to transfigure, transcend our karma in a very real way, and the practices of ego transcendence, which, one of the reasons why communities are such an important part of Ananda's work is that in the laboratories of our spiritual communities, if you want to put it that way, we can, have those egos rubbing against each other in a good way, with all of us trying to move in that direction, so we can see more clearly, more quickly, where our challenges are and actually shine the light on them and work towards transcendence. So this is what these simple 2 sentences are talking about in a 5-minute broadcast. It's a much bigger subject, of course, but the essence of it is hopeful for all of us. So joy to you on this beautiful sunny day, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye now.